Hey guys, how are you guys doing today? We're back with some more Blade and Soul, and this time we're going to be talking about the importance of having good stats in Blade and Soul. So, what are the three most important stats in game are? And that is accuracy, critical, crit damage, and your elemental damage here. Now, the most important you guys should know already is critical, because this allows you to crit, and when you crit, you do mostly over double damage. Alright, double damage. And when you have high crit damage, you'll be able to do nearly triple the amount, which is very, very nice. The reason why I say accuracy is because during certain raid bosses, if you do not have enough accuracy, or should I say you guys, will miss the boss. Like, the boss will slide to the left, right, and he'll skillfully dodge your CC, and sometimes missing one CC is enough to wipe the party. So that's why I consider accuracy one of the important stats in the game. Last but not least, here we got elemental damage, which is flame damage in my case. Elemental damage is the highest damage output, or the highest damaging stat that will boost your damage, because what flame damage does is that it boosts your normal skill attacks, right? So the when you get higher flame damage or higher elemental damage, your skills will actually do more damage. Upgrading AP is the same thing, but AP only gives you a very, 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 very small amount of damage increase. Flame damage or elemental damage, however, gives you a lot of damage. So if you upgrade your BT accessories or TT accessories, they will give you the most amount of damage that you're ever gonna get, because these things here, they're very, very important. So make sure you guys upgrade them to their fullest. Okay, so those are the three important stats in Blade and Soul. So let's talk about points. All right, and we'll get back to how to get higher crit, and how to get higher accuracy, and how to get higher crit damage, because I feel like not a lot of players or people actually cover points. And so how about we cover points? All right, so if you get out of the story, you should be somewhere around Hellmoon 13, and you should have around 65 points, 70 points there. So what I highly recommend you do is you put 50 in offense, and then you put the rest into Hellmoon Focus. Whatever your leftover is, put it into Hellmoon Focus, because Hellmoon Focus gives you boss attack power for 30 seconds, and that's basically a mini soul. And when you iframe, when you have 50 points into offense, you also get 100 AP. So when you iframe, you lose a little bit damage, but that 100 AP is going to help you maybe propel yourself back up to wherever you were. Okay, so having 50 points into offense is really good. And even if you guys have 80 points, right? Let's say that you have 80 points. I still don't recommend you guys put a full 80 points into here. All right, because what happens is that if you put 80 points into here, okay, you put 80 points into here. Sorry, if you put 80 points into here, you have no boss attack power or Hellmoon Focus buff, and this buff is really good. So I actually recommend you guys put 55 points into here and put the rest into Hellmoon Focus, because this allows you to still burst really high, and you still have your offensive stats. Now, if you have higher than 80 points, then yes, put more points into put more, have 80 and then put more points into Hellmoon Focus, because this again allows you to burst higher and allows you to just hit really, really hard. I don't recommend you guys put 100 points into our offense, because I feel like this is really weak for what it is. 100 points into offense, that's a lot, right? That's a lot of points, but you only get 150 elemental damage on a resist. That's basically nothing. Like, your elemental accessories that you acquire from doing Black Tower should be more than enough to cover these. So I would say never ever put 100 points into elemental, because I feel like it's not enough, right? It's not enough of a buff. And then once you get to 115 points, and once you surpass 115 points and you still have leftover points, then yes, just keep going over and over and over. Same process, just higher points. Okay, so all right, so let's go. And how do we acquire crits? Okay, now acquiring crit can be a little bit difficult, especially for all the new players. So one way of getting crit is to upgrade your soul and upgrade your heart. Heart and soul gives you a very good amount of crit, because the soul will give you it's good, but it's very expensive, right? It's super duper expensive for the soul, especially if you're gonna go true cosmic. And because true cosmic, it does give you 12%. I think it gives you the same thing as awakening ascending. Yeah, it gives you, so like if you're struggling to get up here, like at least try to get true to true ascending, because it gives you 12%. True cosmic, it's the same thing, and I believe true tiger gives you the same thing. So try to get to the regular strong souls there. The heart does give you a base stat of crit. I think around 480 is the one on the heart here, and so that will give you some crit. But the one thing that will carry, all right, that will carry your crit is your soul shields. As you guys can see, all 8 of my soul shield pieces have critical on them. Keep in mind that this is Vortex Temple soul shield. So these guys here, they do not guarantee you crit. They have to, you have to roll for this thing, okay? So there's a chance that you may get crit. There's a chance that you might not get crit. So just bear that in mind, that these are Vortex Temple soul shields. So these things here, okay, they will hard carry your crit. When you have Vortex Temple soul shields, they have a really good chance of propelling you to 60%. Okay, when you hit 60%, that is the gold number for almost every single class. Maybe except for Warlock, because Warlocks apparently need an infinite amount of crits. However, if you can hit 60% on your critical meter, that is the gold number for every single class that you're playing, which is really, really good. All right, now there's a few things that you might want to know. Is that the most important stat, as you guys already seen here, is that, or that we already talked about, is accuracy. So these soul shields here, they can roll for crit and accuracy, 2 of the best stats in a row, right? So when you roll these 2, for example, my number 2 here, it will give you both critical and accuracy, and you want to have this roll, because these rolls are really, really good, which the Bladed Soul community has named the perfect roll, because the crit and accuracy are really, really good. They're that good because, you know, having good accuracy is absolutely amazing. Okay, so while you are rolling for your crit pieces on your Vortex Temple or Twilight Temple or Black Tower, I do recommend you keep them until you get crit, because if you don't get one with crit, for example, you can hit on this plus button here. You can go for reinforcement, and what you can do is you can boost the stat of whatever stat that's on that soul shield already, with the crit on it, right? So for example, if you roll for number 4, for example, I roll crit block. Okay, I roll crit block on my number 4, but later on I found a piece 4 that has crit accuracy on it. What I can do is that I can put that piece 4, the other piece 4 that has a crit accuracy, and I can fuse it. I can fuse my crit block into the crit accuracy soul shield to make it stronger, and that's really, really important, because when you have stronger soul shield, you have stronger stats, and when you have stronger when you have stronger stats, you can hit harder. Okay, so there's one more thing that you can do to your soul shield to make it even stronger, and that is a fusion. Now what a fusion is this green number next to my soul shield here, right? It says 380 plus another 388 plus another 388. This allows us to essentially double our crit, which is really, really nice, because when you have this fusion here, you just get more crit, right? And who doesn't like more crit? I want more crit, you know what I mean? Every single player. If you're not at 60%, fusion is the way, my friend. Fusion is the way for you to get 60%. Like, it's so good. And the way that you can acquire it is, number 1, you need to get these things called Masterwork Soul Shield Base. You can make the artisanal ones as well. The artisanal ones is for the soul shields that you don't have crit on it, and you can put the little, you know, the little temporary, I'll call these things little temporary primers, so that you can, you know, get by with your soul shield having no crit, and you could just put some crit on it, but these are temporary. Okay, don't don't have 254 crit on it. That's terrible for fusion. So the best way to do it is step 1, you have to join the social, and then soul warden guild clan or crafting clan. And what you can do is you can level it up, and once you level it up, you can work on these things here: master, work, social. As you guys can see, I'm making 20 at the moment, and so it costs these amount of material here. The hardest thing you're probably gonna have a hard time getting is 85 normal wood, because for some reason I keep failing to get these things on time. And like I keep have to be make more and make more and make more. And how you get these normal wood is that if you do a weekly challenge and a weekly raid each week, you should have plenty of these grandmaster material chests, and that should allow you to make these things here. Once you make the soul warden guild key, you can use them to open the chest, and when you open the chest, you get the wood material. There's nothing really too interesting about the guild itself, mainly because there's just nothing like hello, like there's nothing else. They're only useful to make these things here, and these things here are absolutely essential. So what you do with the master work social is that you can go to a vendor on let me see, Gunwan, and on the VT, same thing for Black Tower. There's a merchant here that you can buy your primers. There's a merchant on Black Tower area, which is here, and then last but not least, the TT one is here. Okay, the TT one is here. So it's the same process, right? You go up to a merchant, the one with the soul shield, and then you just click and buy one of these. Now, if you're making 20, that means you have 4 tries. Okay, 4 tries to get a perfect fusion. Now, what this perfect fusion does is that it adds more to your crit, the green number, right? But you want to buy these things here, okay? You want to buy these things here, and this will allow you to get more crit on your soul shield. All right, so right here, that's gonna be the most important part. Your soul shield gonna carry you on that crit. All right. In terms of crit damage, every single one of your accessories, every single one of your accessories are going to be giving you crit damage. So for example, the ring gives you crit damage here, earring still gives you crit damage, necklace, including the new one, gives you a lot of crit damage, the bracelet gives you crit damage, the gloves gives you crit damage. If you upgrade your mystic badge, it gives you crit damage. Same thing with the soul shield, not soul shield, soul badge, soul badge. Your soul gives you crit damage. Oh yeah, this thing gives a lot, and so does your Hongmoon heart. Okay, so in terms of crit damage, if you upgrade all your accessories, they'll make your stats very happy. All right, so there's one thing that I always say is that it's not your weapon that makes you strong, because even though your weapon is a very, very powerful thing, it's not your weapon that makes you strong. It's your accessories, because your accessories cover a lot of your stats, and so is your soul shield. So your soul shield's gonna be hard carry on your critical and hard carry on your accuracy. So if you roll good accuracy, you good. And then last but not least, elemental damage. Elemental damage will be on your raids, okay? And the main reason why they're the strongest is because they're from raids, and raids will provide you the strongest elemental accessories. So from Black Tower here, I just have Black Tower, but on my warrior, hold on, let me click here. On my warrior, I have let me see, I have both of the Twilight Temple, and these things are super powerful. Like, hello. These things are super powerful, and yeah, these things will carry you on your elemental damage. On my frost damage, I have nearly the same amount as my Blade Master. The only thing that's missing is the necklace, which I'm still using Oath. God damn it, man. But yeah, the accessories will be carrying your flame damage. So don't worry about flame damage too much, because when you upgrade your Black Tower accessories, it'll give you some. When you upgrade your VT necklace, it'll give you some. But I don't know about the necklace anymore, because the prophecy necklace seems to be really, really OP. Pretty OP. Last but not least, your obsidian will give you some elemental damage depending on what your elemental is. So just pick the right obsidian and you should be off. Like, elemental damage is super easy to understand. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys are able to learn something from the importance of having good stats, because AP is no longer the meta, or at least I feel like AP is no longer the meta of Blade and Soul anymore. It's all about how fast or how, you know, how good your stats are, because to me, most of the dungeons, right, you can clear with very low AP. You know, like you can clear this, like every single one of these dungeons from Sandstorm Temple down is, you can clear it with 1.2k. You know, that's very easy stuff. 1.2k, you can clear it. The only time that people require AP higher than 1.2k is Shadowmoor and Dreamsong Theater, which is very difficult. These two dungeons here are difficult, and you do need a high amount of AP. But everything else other than that is you need a very low amount of AP to clear. And so it's actually better to focus on your stats instead of focusing on your AP, because having high crit will do more damage. Having high crit damage will do more damage. Having high elemental damage will do more damage. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys learned something from this video. Hope you guys liked it. And if you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, I'm going to be talking about PvP next time, because this, as you can see, is a PvE guide for these stats. And next time we'll be talking about PvP. Alright, so with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys have not subscribed already, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on Blade and Soul. See you guys then.